Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Have you tried ranked battles yet? Rank season is upon us. I'm going to show you a couple of games here. And while we watch, I'm going to discuss a couple of ideas I have that I think could improve rank battles. What is this whole rank thing about? Well, it's trying to rank up based on your performance in Tier 10 battles, 10 versus 10. Based on the XP that Wargaming gives you in the battles. Now, what I've noticed is the XP, the way it's dished out, is almost totally about doing damage and getting kills. Almost nothing else matters, even though each tank has different roles. Some tanks have the role of spotting and remaining undetected, like this one. Some tanks have the role of shooting from a distance and getting initial spots like the Leopard. Some tanks, most of the tanks, have the added role of bouncing shots or trading HP. And the amount of XP that you get for performing your role is minuscule compared to the amount of XP that you get for doing damage or getting kills. Now, one of the key things in ranked is to not lose chevrons when you're on the losing team. That means not ranking near the bottom when you're on a losing team. Sometimes when there's a blowout loss, you don't want to be the guy that's at the back that hasn't done anything because you're going to rank near the bottom. So the way the XP has been given out, and this whole how they calculate XP for your role has led to let's just take out this guy who does not see me until he proxy spotted me. We can barely turn the turn. Oh, I love those British women commanders. One of the results of just the way they give out XP is that there's certain tanks that have become the meta in ranked. And mainly Kranwagens, STB-1s, and some heavily armored, super conquerors, and some heavily armored medium tanks, or medium tanks that can pump out damage quickly, preferably that have a good strong turret. And why is that? Well, because it's just most maps have ridge lines or corridors, and the idea in ranked is to move right in. On this map, it's usually a big brawl in the forest. In El Halouf, it's a big brawl where the rocks are in the northeast corner. In Sand River, almost everyone goes to to one choke point, and they fight along the ridge line. And the Kranwagen is just spectacular at doing that, because if you take the Kranwagen into ranked battles, you go straight to the choke point, you go right to the front, you get yourself hull down, and you just duke it out. You duke it out, and in a Kranwagen you're going to get 1 or 2 clips maybe. And if you lose the game, then you're the guy that's right up there in the front, pumping out damage and blocking some shots. And if it's a blowout and you lose, you're probably one of the guys that's done some damage and blocked some damage, whereas your light tank or your lightly armored medium tank that's flanking or doing something else that a light tank or lightly armored medium tank should do is left out and hasn't done anything, and he's the guy that's going to rank down. So there's certain meta tanks, like this guy's playing the STRV. That's a tough tank to play in ranked battles, because a lot of times you're sitting at the back, and you don't, on a win, you don't do anything when your team charges forward, and on a loss, sometimes you just get overrun at the end. So because of the way they give out the XP, and because almost everyone in ranked shoots almost nothing but premium ammo, those are the two things I've noticed. There's meta tanks, and it's just gold ammo spam. And that's because people want to do damage as fast as they can. They don't want to bounce shots, and they want to be in a tank that can get right into the thick of things, and even on a loss, at least be in the battle and rank near the top of the team. So it's become a Kranwagen STB-1 infested heat spamming shit show. Now I'm going to show you some games here. I've purposely picked out games that are not overrun with Kranwagen. Okay, and I'm playing some kind of what I would say non-meta tanks in ranked. So I have some suggestions that maybe would make ranked a little bit more appealing, because this does not appeal to the kind of average schmo type player. It appeals to, surprise, surprise, the players that have played this game and are serious about the game and are like shall I say, the better players that are really worried about their WN8 and their stats. Funny that the XP given out in ranked battles, kills and damage, is basically the same two factors that go into the WN8 formula. Everything else is irrelevant in your WN8, as it is in ranked. It's not surprising that players that are very serious and concerned about their WN8s are fine with the way ranked battles are. And that is get your XP mainly just by doing damage and kills. Tank roll is minimal, spotting is minimal, just like WN8. But that alienates a large part of the player base that is not interested in playing ranked. I've got some ideas, a couple of ideas that I think could improve it. Before I give them to you, I just would say that I am hopeful that it can get better, because Wargaming does do a few things really well in ranked. Namely, the matchmaker is almost flawless. This is probably the worst matchmaking example that I've had in ranked. But typically, matchmaker is just flawless. If there's artillery in ranked battles, there's only one per side, maximum. If there's EBRs in the game, there's only one per side. And there's never a situation where one team gets 3 EBRs and the other team gets none. It's always balanced. Typically, if one team gets a super heavy tank, the other team gets a super heavy tank. If one team gets 3 very good hull down tanks, the other team gets 3 very good hull down tanks. The matchmaker is actually excellent in ranked battles, which is not the case in random battles. And you may ask yourself, well, why is that? And that's because Wargaming chooses to balance these teams very carefully in ranked battles. Otherwise, it would be like a complete shit show. And I guess the players demand it. And they're not too concerned about balancing the teams in random battles. They just aren't. They choose to do it in ranked battles, and they choose not to do it in random battles is the only explanation. It has nothing to do with whether it's difficult or not. It's simple, it's easy, it's just a computer program. They could balance the teams just as well in random battles, but that's a topic for another video. So what are the 2 changes I would make? Well, number 1, and it's a pretty easy change. Some of you may not agree with it. Let's just throw that out there. But I would give tanks a little bit more XP for completing their rolls. Okay? Because the amount of XP you get for the roll of your tank is so minuscule that basically players just ignore it and take the tank that they can pump out the most damage, block the most shots, and spam the most heat as quickly as possible. And that's why you have an infestation of Kranwagens and STB-1s and other good hull-down, mainly Russian tanks. And I'm purposely showing you games, guys, that I mentioned it already, that are not infested with 4 Kranwagens per side. But you all have to agree, when you play ranked, it's Kranwagen and STB-1 City. And I already explained why people play those. There's an Object 140 that just shot heat into my tracks. It's just meta tank spamming premium ammo. So I think if they just increase the amount of XP that a tank gets for performing its role, just a little bit, you have to find the balanced number, then it would give people more of an incentive to play, say, a Manticore, or some of the non-meta tanks. I don't know what the role would be for an STRV. I know what the role is here for my Leopard, and that is to do damage at long range, to get initial spots. But you know what I'm saying. It would give some non-meta tanks maybe more of an incentive to play, because although damage and kills are the most important, if that's all it's about, then the roles just get thrown out the window. So I don't know if anyone, whether you guys agree with that or not, whether that's necessary. You have to be careful how you balance that, because you don't want XP just given out based on roles that have nothing to do with how much a player has supported the team or helped win the game. But the way it is now, there's just kill stealing and damage farm. So increase the XP for roles. Now number 2, and wouldn't this be interesting, guys? This is the main one. Wouldn't ranked battles be a perfect place to test this? Let's do one ranked season with no premium ammo. And you'll notice the way I'm playing, the games I'm showing you here, all my tanks, I don't have one premium shell. I've not packed one premium shell. I'm not running food. And I simply do this because I want to make some credits. I don't want to lose credits playing ranked. I know some people spam full gold and run food and max out their tanks, and they spend 100, 200,000 credits per game, and that's fine. Go for it. That's precisely what Wargaming wants. Ranked has nothing to do with trying to figure out who the best player is or who ranks higher in this game. Ranked, the only reason we have ranked battles is it's just another game mode where Wargaming can sync credits. This is the perfect, they've developed a perfect game mode to play on players' egos and their macho desire to, I'm ranking up, to drain people's accounts of credits. That's what this is about, right? They are so happy that they can drain millions and millions of credits, mainly from all the serious players that have a lot of premium tanks and playing clans and make their credits. And I know those players will say, well, I can make my credits the way I want and spend them the way I want, and that's fine. But this is just Wargaming's a brilliant way of developing a mode where they know that you're going to give all those credits back. That's what it's about. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if we had a season of ranked with no premium ammo? Think about that. Leave some comments in the comment section what you think of that. That would be an amazing test, in my opinion. It may not, having no gold may negate the first thing I said there about vehicle rolls. And one of the vehicle rolls for some of the big super heavies is to bounce shots, to block damage. That's almost impossible when everyone's spamming heat at you. That's the main reason that you don't see a lot of Type 5 heavies and Mouses and E100s in this game. Because you'd rather have a Kranwagen with turbo, full heat, so you can get to the ridgeline quickly and farm that Type Heavy as he's trundling along the field trying to get into position. It's all about dishing out the damage as fast as you can and then kill stealing. So what do you think of that idea? Just having one ranked season with no premium ammo. I think it would change the gameplay completely. And in fact, I'm going to read all your comments if you guys leave some feedback in the comment section. I believe that it would actually make some of the better players and some of the high WN8, high performing players that are completely comfortable with the way ranked is now and very serious and concerned about their WN8 scores. I think it would make them very uncomfortable playing with no premium ammo, because they would have to change completely the way they play the game. There are some tanks that if you just remove premium ammo would no longer just be able to sit in front of the big super heavies and the hull down tanks and simply spam heat. That's the meta now. If you're playing a fast Russian medium tank, the meta is get into position, press number 2, you have 330 heat pen, and simply chew through the Type 5 Heavy and the Mouse and the E100 from the front. Because you can. It just costs credits. If we did a test where we had one ranked season, just one Wargaming, just give it a try, where there's no premium ammo, then that playstyle would not work. Everyone would have to play their tanks differently. It would make some tanks a lot more viable to play. It would mean that you'd have to look at the map more. You'd have to decide, okay, I'm in this tank. I can't pen those tanks from the front. I might have to flank like this. Okay, I'm going to flank around them. Oh, wait, there's someone over here that can pump 5 shots into me, so I have to look at the mini-map and I have to take him out first. I have to go back. It's too dangerous. You might have to use your brain a little bit. You might have to, guys, shock of all shocks, wait for this one. You might have to aim for weak spots. Remember that? We used to do that. You'd have to change your playstyle. And wouldn't it make sense? Think about this, guys. Wouldn't it make sense that if you're trying to have a mode where you rank the players based on their skill and performance in the battle, don't you think you'd get a better representation of that if maybe you removed the button that removes skill? The number 2 button that just shoot right through the front? Maybe if you had the whole mode just with regular ammo, you'd get a better representation of the players that had the better skill. Oh, I'm ammo racked here. Now this is why you don't see a lot of leopards in ranked. I've used my repair kit. Let's just take one more shot here. Yeah, we can take. Oh, I'm ammo racked again. Shout out to that bat chat who is not spamming heat at me. Ammo racked twice in a row. I think it would just... I'm going to read all your comments. Please leave some comments in the video here and let me know what you guys think. But I think it would not necessarily be the way that we should have ranked. I'm not saying that. I think it would just be a very good test. It would be an amazing test to have one season of ranked where there's no premium ammo. I think we'd end up with... Wargaming would end up with a lot of statistics on the results of the battles that would be very, very interesting. Which tanks would perform a lot better, which tanks would perform a lot worse. I think it would change the gameplay completely. I think it would change the way people move around the map and think about what they're doing in the game. It would make a lot of players that rely on the meta of spamming heat in a fast tank with a good heat round. It would change the way they play and it would make them very uncomfortable. But it might make some regular players, like the regular schmoes, maybe a little bit more likely to try out ranked. Now, I don't think this idea has a hope in hell of being achieved or even being tested, because let's face it, this for wargaming, this is a credit sink. They're simply interested in draining credits, and I don't think it's even a starter. I don't think they would even consider it. You know, they'll be in the boardroom there. They want us to. Klaus Kellerman has suggested we have mode with no premium ammo. What? Are you crazy? We drained 3.4 trillion credits last rank season. If they tried one iteration with no premium ammo, some players would actually make credits playing this fun mode. Boy, that would be a travesty, playing a fun mode and actually making credits. Now let me die here because I've gone on long enough. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll read all your comments, but a couple of suggestions. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. My poor dead leopard. Ranked on top, though.